Good morning, friends and families of the Eckerd College Class of 2026. The procession has started and the graduates are on their way to the commencement tent. If you would like to follow along with live captioning, you may visit eckerd.edu/captions on your mobile device.
Good morning and welcome to the 63rd commencement of Eckerd College. Would everyone please be seated? Today we are honored to have Senior Claire Wurlitzer begin our ceremony by reading the college's land acknowledgement statement. Claire majored in psychology with a minor in public health and human development. Claire, please come forward.
Eckerd College celebrates the beautiful campus that it calls home and teaches the importance of environmental stewardship as a core value. An important part of this commitment is acknowledging the Indigenous communities, past, present, and future, who are the traditional custodians of these lands and waterways. Eckerd College acknowledges that its campus lies within the traditional homelands of the Seminole, Miccosukee people and their ancestral groups whose history here stretches back more than 12,000 years. We recognize the profound resilience of the Seminole, Miccosukee, Choctaw, Cherokee, and other Native peoples who fought bravely to defend their homelands against powerful forces. As a campus community, we commit to learning and teaching Native American history and cultural awareness, recognizing and honoring the presence of Indigenous people and caring for the land that has become our home to the best of our ability. That's it.
Thank you, Claire. Today we are honored to have a group of 9 graduating seniors perform the national anthem. You will find their names printed in today's program. Students, please come forward, and friends, please stand as you are able for the national anthem and remain standing for the invocation.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you all, absolutely beautiful. Our invocation is offered by the Reverend Robert Galloway, Eckerd College's Director of Spiritual Life and College Chaplain. Robert, please come forward.
Let us pray. Holy One, we come to this day with our sacred lives, our unique stories, and our shared love of this place. You have drawn us together to celebrate the accomplishment of this class. Today marks an education earned and hard work rewarded. It is also a day that recognizes that in this place, lives are changed, community is built, curiosity is encouraged, and individuals find their identity and purpose. Your care and the support of friends and families gathered in body and spirit contribute to this milestone. So we give thanks to you and to all those who helped get us here. We give thanks for the faculty, staff, and trustees of Eckerd, and the many ways they have given so that we may all have a chance to think outside. O Lord, now bless this class. Bless them this last day of a particular chapter of their lives, and bless them on the first day of what is next in life. O God, give them wisdom to discover a life that flourishes and contributes to the well-being of all. Strengthen the kindness within them so that they may work for peace and unity that the world needs. Renew their resilience that carries them through the difficult days of ordinary life, and grant them open eyes and open hearts so that they may see the wonders of this world that are greater than all of us. O Lord, go with them and abide with them as they go from this place, not as a finished people, for none of us are, but as a people who have been changed by their time here, are willing to be changed again. May they do work that matters. May they find what fulfills them. May they come back to Eckerd one day and remember how their experience here has been an undercurrent in the formation of who they have become. Bless them this day and all their days. Amen.
Please be seated. To capture today's festivities, a professional photographer will take a photo of each graduate as the degree is conferred. Please allow everyone in the audience to enjoy the ceremony by remaining in your seat until the completion of the recessional at the end of our ceremony. Members of the class of 2026, this commencement ceremony, like everything else at Eckerd College, is arranged to be an educational event in your undergraduate experience. Today, the college will display its values by what it honors and who it honors. Commencement is not simply about receiving a diploma, though it is surely about that. Commencement also is about telling the story anew, about the institution from which the diploma has been earned, and about the class it graduates. Let us begin by thanking the Eckerd College Board of Trustees for all they have done to build this outstanding college in the liberal arts tradition and for their unwavering support. Will the trustees who have joined us today please rise as you are able to be recognized. Please be seated. We also welcome the other distinguished members of the platform party for their participation in today's ceremony. Our commencement speaker and honorary degree recipient, Lara Dowman-Weiss, board chair, Ian Johnson, members of executive staff, and my colleagues, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of Faculty, Dr. Christine Woolley, and Vice President for Student Success, Dr. Marjorie Sanfilippo. Now, let me ask the distinguished and dedicated members of the Eckerd College faculty, the embodiment of Eckerd College, to stand as you are able so we can thank you for the labor and devotion that has made this day possible. Faculty, please rise. Thank you. Please be seated. Let us also take a moment to thank the staff of the college, the administrative staff, as well as the facilities, dining, and housekeeping staff who have supported students in their work and in their play at Eckerd College. Staff, please rise as you are able so that we can thank you. This day would not be possible without the support, emotional, spiritual, and financial, of the families and friends of our graduates today. Will the family members and friends of our students please rise as you are able so we may recognize and applaud your love and your support. Thank you. Please be seated. Eckerd College Class of 2026, you have not only excelled academically on campus, but you also have sailed the waters of Antarctica and studied the coral ecosystems of Thailand. You have researched the different natural environments of Ecuador and the Galapagos, and ridden camels in Morocco. You have carried out service projects all over Tampa Bay and indeed all over the world. You have carried out hundreds of rescues each year at sea through EXAR and responded compassionately to hundreds of medical emergencies each year through ESERT. You have won Fulbright fellowships and Holling scholarships and so much more. You soon will begin careers in a world characterized by war, violence, and injustice, a world that is in great need of your talent, knowledge, and energy. You leave here, yes. You leave here to conduct research, to address social, political, scientific, and environmental challenges, to attend law school, medical school, veterinary school, and graduate school. You will become engineers, teachers, entrepreneurs, oceanographers, counselors, artists, and scientists. And you will assume leadership positions in your jobs and in your communities. At the end of this ceremony, you will march off to show the world that Eckerd College changes lives and Eckerd College graduates change the world. Class of 2026, please stand as you are able so we can recognize your enormous achievements and your great promise. Thank you. Please be seated. Please welcome to the podium the chair of the Eckerd College Board of Trustees, Mr. Ian Johnson, class of 1989. Ian?
President Anarelli, Dr. Woolley, Dr. Sanfilippo, Ms. Laura Dahlman-Weiss, faculty, staff, families, guests, and graduates of the class of 2026. As chair of the Eckerd College Board of Trustees, I bring you greetings and congratulations on behalf of the board. And what a great pleasure it is. Yesterday afternoon, on the recommendation of your faculty, the Board of Trustees granted the awarding of 476 bachelor's degrees. No other action required of the Board of Trustees brings as much pleasure as the granting of degrees each May. The members of the board who are here with you today are honored to have the privilege of being the first to congratulate you as you cross the stage later in the ceremony this morning. We will see each of you soon at the top of the stairs. Congratulations, graduates of the class of 2026.
Thank you, Ian. Elected and honored by the class of 2026 to bring greetings to you this morning is Noya Hutkins-Jew. Noya is from Madrid, Spain, and is graduating with a Bachelor of Arts degree with a major in international business and minors in biology and finance. Please join me in a warm welcome for Noya.
Good morning. Thank you, President Anarelli, Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, family, friends, for welcome and celebrating us. Class of 2026, give it up. It's funny because I still remember the first time I jumped off that pier right there. Actually, I remember thinking about jumping for 5 minutes. Freshman year, overthinking everything. Not just the water, but my entire life. Wondering if there were any sharks, but also wondering if I chose the right school or the right major. I had a whole 5-year plan, and probably a retirement plan too. Meanwhile, I did not even know how to do laundry without shrinking half of my clothes. Sorry, Mom. I stood there while everyone else jumped. And now, sorry to tell you, we're gonna jump one last time. But sadly, many of us live like that too. So focused on what came next that we forget what was happening in the moment. In class, my friends and I would just scroll on LinkedIn, scrolling through internships we were not even qualified for yet, not taking notes, sorry, professors, but just collectively pretending we had our lives together. But somewhere along the way, Eckerd has a way of changing you. And it does not happen all at once. In fact, it's easy to lose track of time when it feels like you're living in a summer camp, right? You cannot rush a sunset here or a conversation on the docks. You definitely cannot rush becoming a completely different person One of the most special things about this place is how it brings people together. In the classrooms, on the courts, in Kappa Field, we made friendships that became family. And because of those people, many of us became versions of ourselves we never expected. Things you never thought you would do somehow became normal here, like walking barefoot to class, standing out late at bonfires, or participating in many dedicated faculty bonding every Friday once a month. And maybe that's the point. Imagine what you'll be doing in 5 years that you can't even picture today. Somewhere between sunsets, bonfires, and a few existential crises, my path quietly changed. I came here convinced, let me tell you, convinced I was gonna become a marine science researcher. But after 3 whole years, few internships and world experiences, I realized where I could make the most impact was just leading me somewhere else. And that journey led me here, graduating with a business degree, because along the way, I found a path that fits me better. And the truth is, that's more common than we think. Throughout these years, I met many professionals whose lives made absolutely no sense in the best ways. People who studied biology and are marketing now, in what? People who studied art and run companies. Their beginnings and endings look completely different because they never stop learning who they are and where they belong. I used to think changing your mind meant failing. It does not. Change is not failure. Change is information. It is learning about who you are, but having the courage to act on it. Okay, it is like seeing a yike on campus, okay? You get so happy, you run towards it, but it's broken. You don't cry, you don't sit down there like waiting, no, this is my yike, this is for me. No, you keep walking and then somehow you find a yike that works better. Life works like that too. No matter what we've gone through, bad timelines, heartbreaks, life crisis, or shells stuck in your feet, that's plush. We still come back to this beach together to celebrate how much we have changed, but also how we are still becoming. That matters because life after graduation seems intimidating. The economy is scary, as we all know, and the job market feels like a competitive sport. It can seem like everybody else hasn't figured it out. But over time, you start to realize something important. The people who end up okay aren't the ones who have it all perfectly planned. They're the ones who learned how to adapt. Even the famous philosopher we all learned about in our memorable human experience class, Plato, wrestled with this idea. He believed the world around us is constantly changing. So people search for something stable, something permanent to hold on. But maybe stability isn't about things staying stable. Maybe it's about trusting ourselves to adapt and focusing on what we can actually control. Not the economy, not the timeline, and definitely not my 5-year plan. So, if you became someone completely different from the person who first arrived here, that is more than okay. That is growth. Trust the process, keep being yourself. Try not to take life too seriously. Laugh often, and keep it weird everywhere you go, because that is what Eckerd is all about. We do not control the future, we just control today. The next step, the next jump. The person who first stood up here did not know who she would become. And the person standing here today does not know fully either. But she's braver now, calmer, and she trusts herself more. So, when we jump off that pier, one last time, let it not be with the fear of what's next, but with quiet confidence that we have already changed before. And we will do it again. But right now, I want to capture who we are in this exact moment. So, give it up one more time for the class of 2026. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Noya. During her time as an Eckerd student studying health advising and nutrition and minoring in Spanish, Laura Dallman Weiss had already begun the journey that would bring her here today as this year's commencement speaker. Arriving at Eckerd from Shoreview, Minnesota, Laura discovered on our beautiful waterfront campus not only a passion for sailing, but also a community that helped shape her future. As a member and captain of the Triton sailing team, she led her teammates to a third-place finish at the 2010 Women's Nationals and established herself as one of the most accomplished student athletes in Eckerd history. In recognition of her achievements, she was inducted into the 2022 Eckerd College Athletics Hall of Fame. During reunion weekend this year, she was honored with the 2026 Margaret Rigg Outstanding Alumni Award presented to an alumna who demonstrates exceptional leadership in her profession and community. Since graduating, Laura has built an extraordinary international sailing career. She represented the United States in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics in women's two-person dinghy event, and in 2024 completed in the first ever mixed gender 470 Olympic event. She is now pursuing her third Olympic appearance in 2028 in Los Angeles. Beyond competition, Laura has dedicated herself to mentorship, education, and environmental stewardship. She coaches educational professionals in leadership, introduces incarcerated women to sailing as a way to build their confidence, and serves as an ambassador for Sailors at Sea, promoting ocean conservation and sustainability. Laura truly exemplifies an alumna who is changing the world. It is a privilege and an honor to welcome her home to Eckerd and to this podium to address the Eckerd College Class of 2026. Laura, please step forward.
Hello, Eckerd grads. I got some really cute shoes today, but I'm in the moment right now, so I'm gonna take them off. Does that make you guys feel better? All right, just a quick show of hands. Who has a last name starting with D? Where are you at? Okay, so that was me 15 years ago. Good vibes over there. I have a small tattoo on my finger. It's a T with an arrow. And most people know the term lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. Well, on a sailboat, it's the opposite. Sailors draw this symbol to remind us which way to turn things when it gets windy. But for me, it serves as a reminder that it's okay to do things opposite of other people. I nearly accepted a track scholarship to a school in Wisconsin, and then last minute decided to come down to Eckerd and sail here. So great. And when I was here, I loved the school, I loved the sailing team, it was the right place for me, but I couldn't find a major. So, shout out to Professor Flaherty, I designed my own major. And then once I graduated school, all of my friends started taking that path. You know the path where you get an animal, you get married, you have a kid, you buy a home. That just wasn't for me. I still had this Olympic dream burning. So that's the story behind my tattoo. And it tells me that sometimes in life, the right way isn't obvious. Sometimes it's backwards and you really have to trust that. During my 2020 Olympic campaign, my teammate and I were about to sail our first major world championship in Denmark. Our first international regatta together, we were a new team. We fundraised, we got a boat, and it was located in Germany. That all sounds great. The boat came with a car. The car was owned by a man named Wolfgang. And the only problem was it was a manual car, and neither of us knew how to drive one. So my dad flew in from the States to teach us how to drive a stick shift in a day. Sailed our world championship, and then we had to get the car with the boat in tow from Denmark to the south of Spain to get on a ferry. If you've ever driven in Europe, it's nothing like driving in the States. Narrow roads, there's a lot of elevations, there's mountains. We were burning out all the time. We were so stressed. We were questioning our decisions every day. I don't think there was ever a moment where we stopped and thought, oh, we're comfortable with this drive and with this journey. When we got to the ferry, it wasn't just a ferry you load your cars onto. There was this steep hill, so we had to get to the top. If you've driven a stick, you know you've got to take momentum. You don't want the momentum to stop. We got to the top. Everyone's yelling at us in Spanish. We had to do this 12-point turn to get all packed in the ferry. And there was never a moment where I just felt, okay, we know what we're doing. We figured it out. And that's something that I've learned over and over again, both in sailing and in life. Nobody's going to hand you a manual or tell you what your next right move is. At some point, you're either going to trust your own judgment or you stay stuck where you are. The moment that really changed how I thought about leadership happened in the Canary Islands, on the island of Lanzarote. During the pandemic, this is where the best sailors in the world trained. My teammate and I knew that if we were going to go from being the underdogs to winning our Olympic trials, we had to be there. It took weeks for us to get permission to leave the country. My teammate was in the military, so we got a letter from the Coast Guard. We got a letter from the Spanish Federation saying that we had to come to train. We got this visa, which was a sticker in my passport with some dates written down, and I still don't know if it was valid, but it worked. We got there. One day when we showed up to sail, it was super windy, and if you're faced with certain conditions, the waves stack up because you're in an island in the middle of nowhere. So we had waves closing out the boat ramp. What happens when you launch your boat is you bring it down to the water and you have to time it perfectly. And if you get it wrong, your boat's gonna end up on the rocks or with a big hole in it. We couldn't afford that. So we sat and we watched other teams. Some of them successfully got on the water. Some of them decided not to sail that day. Another boat ended up with a huge hole. Not great. So we stopped watching everyone else. We brainstormed for a little bit and we walked down to the beach and we found this nice patch where we could launch our boat. We took a totally different approach and it worked. We had a beautiful day of training. But after we were done training, we had to come back into the beach and conditions had gotten worse. So we made the call to leave the boat in the water overnight. And our Olympic boats are super fragile. It would be like leaving a Formula One car out on the ocean overnight. You just don't do it. We did it anyways, and the boat survived. And that day changed something for me, because that's when I realized you don't win by copying everyone else. You don't win by waiting for the perfect conditions. You win by making a call, your call, and committing to it. This creative problem solving shows up everywhere in Olympic campaigns. Right after we qualified for the Tokyo Olympics, we had to get our boat from Portugal to Tokyo. And it was right when the Suez Canal shut down, so there was no way to ship our boat in time. We asked everyone we could think of. We asked the military, thought for sure they would help us out. No. We eventually decided the only way to get our Olympic boat to the games was to air freight it. Not ideal and super expensive. But that's just one small piece of what an Olympic campaign looks like. Each new venue we sail at, you're writing a totally new manual. You're learning the new weather patterns, you're finding your local gym, your favorite coffee shop, finding different marine shops. There's constant uncertainty and moments where the clear, right way to do something isn't obvious. I always get asked what it's like to compete at the Olympics. It's chaos in a totally different way. Your nervous system is on high alert to everything. There's helicopters overhead all the time. All of a sudden there's security that's telling you where you can and can't go. That's not normal. And someone's telling you when we can sail, when we can't sail. Nothing feels like you're used to, and there's no way to train for it. And what I've noticed watching the most successful athletes is the ones who succeed aren't the ones in the calmest environment. They're the ones who stay calm when everything is chaotic. My favorite Olympic moment wasn't even while I was competing. It was actually at the Tokyo ceremonies. How are we all doing right now? Are we all hot? Just want to check in. I saw someone yawn, so I just want to make sure we're all here. Okay, good. So the Tokyo Olympic ceremonies, and I don't know if you guys watch the Olympics, but the opening ceremonies and being part of Team USA is the greatest thing I could ever think to be a part of. We had this plan. One of the sailors on our team had been to the last Olympics, and he was like, you guys, you want to be at the front of the Team USA? I can show you how, but we've got to wait for our moment. So all of a sudden, we're just sitting around Team USA house. We're chatting. We're asking people what their sport is, when they compete, learning each other's stories. And then someone goes on the loudspeaker and says, all right, I need the flag-bearing teams. I need the basketball teams and the baseball teams to get on buses. And that's when my teammate said, this is our moment. So we snuck on with the men's basketball team and all of their security. It was really cool. But then the buses took us to the stadium, and we were the third to last country to march, so we're just behind stage, walking slowly, inch by inch. And it's the coolest thing because you're next to the baseball players, you're next to the basketball players, you're next to all these iconic athletes from Team USA, but at the same time, you want to fight really hard to get to the front of this line. It's like being at a concert where you're elbows out. At one point, I locked elbows with the baseball team. And it was right before we were about to go out, about to march. And this woman turns to Sue Bird, who was the flag bearer. And I grew up playing basketball, so she was a hero of mine. It was the coolest thing to march right behind her. This woman turns to her and says, are these your teammates behind you? And I thought for sure she was going to say, no, my teammates are back there, please bring them to the front. Instead, she looked at me dead in the eye, and she was like, these guys have been working so hard to be in the front row. I'll never forget that, because sometimes leadership is that simple. It's recognizing the people around you. It's seeing the work, even if it's not your team. Then in Paris, qualified for my second Olympics. Thanks. I found myself in a similar situation, except for this time I had been there before. We heard that the opening ceremony was going to be on the Seine, and it's going to be on boats. So all the sailors, the rowers were like, this is our jam. So we all got on the boats, and everyone's piling down to what they think is the front of the boat. Now, sailors, we take a second. Shout out to my sailors here who are graduating. Yeah. I love that. We take a second to look at this boat, and we're like, something's not right. The chairs are pointed in one direction. We see where the engine is. We see where the cameras are staged, and we're like, we think the front is the back and the back is the front. So all the sailors go to where we think is the front of the boat. Turns out, when we start going, the boat turns on and takes a U-turn down the river. So we are in the front of the boat. If you guys Google and look up the opening ceremony in Paris, you're going to see the sailing team right front and center. Very proud of that. These moments are all small, but they reinforce the same idea. Pay attention, trust what you see, and don't just follow the crowd. When I think about leadership now, I think about the little tattoo on my finger. I look at it every single day, still reminding me that it's okay to do things opposite of everyone else. I carry this with me right now as I'm currently training to represent the US in my 3rd Olympics in LA. Yeah. You're all welcome to come watch. There will be moments where the path isn't obvious. There's moments where people around you are all doing one thing and something's telling you to do something else. That's the moment. That's when you trust your instincts. That's when you make the call. That's when you steer your own boat. Because you can't control the wind. Mother Nature's taught me this time and time again. You can't control the waves. And you definitely can't control what everyone else is doing, but you can always control how you respond. This is leadership at its core. It's having the courage to make that decision even when it feels backwards, and trusting that you're going to figure it out along the way. Thank you to parents and families and everyone who helped these graduates get here today. Thank you and shout out to my friends and family here, Mom, Dad, Stacy, Jesse, Chris, Carolyn, Perry, Moose, Susan, Lindell, let's go. I wouldn't be here without you guys, truly. President Anarelli, thank you for inviting me back home. This is one of the greatest honors of my life. To the faculty, staff, Board of Trustees, thank you all for protecting something so rare. Class of 2026, you are now entering a great alumni network. Lean on this. I hope y'all are ready for a swim because you've earned it. Congratulations.
I now welcome to the podium Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of Faculty, Dr. Christine Woolley.
It is customary at commencement services in American colleges and universities to recognize distinguished individuals with honorary degrees. Eckerd College takes pleasure in so recognizing one such individual today. Mr. President, it is my honor to present to you Laura Delman-Weiss to receive the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
For your journey from multi-sport athlete to world-class sailor, which began at Eckerd as a member and captain of the Triton sailing team, leading your teammates to a third-place finish at the 2010 Women's Nationals, for your pursuit of excellence as a professional sailor, representing the United States in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics and making history in the 2024 Paris Olympics by completing the first ever mixed gender 470 event. For continuing to pursue your dream of Olympic gold as you navigate with determination toward the 2028 Los Angeles Games. For using sailing as a platform to improve the world, teaching formerly incarcerated women to sail as a means of connection and confidence building, and championing ocean conservation and sustainability. For translating your experience as a disciplined athlete, effective team leader, and inspiring coach into work that helps superintendents and education leaders across the country enhance their leadership skills and meet their most pressing moments, while providing coaching and insights to those on the front lines of teaching and mentoring the next generation. For embodying the values of perseverance, teamwork, and purpose-driven excellence. Now, therefore, Eckerd College is proud to confer on its beloved alumna, Laura Dalman Weiss, class of 2011, the degree Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa. It is customary at the Eckerd College Commencement to honor those seniors who have been selected by the faculty to receive special awards. I now invite Vice President for Student Success, Dr. Marjorie Sanfilippo, to the podium to call 4 of those seniors to this platform to receive their awards and your applause. Margie?
The Philip J. Lee Honor Award is awarded to the senior student whose scholarly achievements have demonstrated both exceptional accomplishment and superior promise. This year's recipient is from Tokyo, Japan, and will graduate with majors in biochemistry and mathematics. The 2026 Phillips J. Lee Honor Award recipient is Akari Miura. The James H. Robinson Award is presented to a senior student who has contributed significantly to the experience of underrepresented students and to a fuller appreciation of cross-cultural values throughout the whole of Eckerd community. This year's recipient comes from Bedford Heights, Ohio, and graduates with majors in marine science and a minor in Spanish. The 2026 James H. Robinson Award is Sydney Alea Harkness. The Ronald Wilson Memorial Award is presented to a senior student who has made a significant contribution to the college community through academics, student government, and other campus organizations. This year's recipient is from Lakeville, Massachusetts, and will graduate with majors in literature and political science and a minor in environmental studies. The 2026 Ronald Wilson Memorial Award recipient is Emma Louise Kelleher. The Miller Award is presented to the senior student whose life activities exemplify the ideal of unselfish and public-spirited service to the community, off campus as well as on campus. This year's recipient comes from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and graduates with a major in humanities with a minor in environmental studies and interdisciplinary problem solving. The 2026 Miller Award recipient is Anne Marie Lyles Knight.
Eckerd College recognizes the importance of teaching and mentoring each year at these ceremonies. I now invite Dean Christine Woolley to the podium to present these awards.
Mr. President, the Robert A. Staub's Distinguished Teacher Award emphasizes the primary importance of teaching at the college, recognizes teaching excellence in an individual faculty member, and encourages the pursuit of teaching excellence by the faculty as a whole. The Robert A. Staub Distinguished Teacher Award is presented this year to Tanya Kruger, visiting Assistant Professor of Theater. Tanya, please join us. Mr. President, the John Satterfield Outstanding Mentor Award is named in honor of a beloved member of the founding faculty. This award honors the special and vital role of the mentor in a student's life at Eckerd. The selection of the recipient is based on the impact of students the mentor has had in the areas of academic programming, career planning, and personal growth. The John Satterfield Outstanding Mentor Award is presented this year to Professor of Marine Science Laura Wetzel. Mr. President, it is my honor to present to you the candidates who have fulfilled all requirements as determined by the faculty for the degree of Bachelor of Fine Arts. Will the candidates please rise?
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees in the state of Florida, I hereby confer upon you the Bachelor of Fine Arts degree with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto.
Congratulations. Please move your tassel to the left and be seated. Mr. President, it is my honor to present to you the candidates who have fulfilled all requirements as determined by the faculty for the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Will the candidates please rise?
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees in the state of Florida, I hereby confer upon you the Bachelor of Arts degree with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto.
Congratulations. You may move your tassel to the left and please be seated. Mr. President, it is my honor to present to you the candidates who have fulfilled all requirements as determined by the faculty for the degree of Bachelor of Science. Will the candidates please rise?
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees in the state of Florida, I hereby confer upon you the Bachelor of Science degree with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto.
Congratulations. Please move your tassel to the left and be seated. Now, as the ushers guide you, will the graduates please come forward to accept your degrees? Ready? How you doing? Ready to go. Thomas Butler, honors. Serena Mia de la Rosa. Jordan Ziad Keldani, honors. Casper Shoichi Milbachler. Grace Aslan Nelson. Nicole Elizabeth Vogler, honors. Aliana Wagoner, high honors. Kiera R. Williams. Rain Joy Williams, honors. Grace Leah Adler, high honors. Jordan Mary Aitken, high honors. Tobiana Louise Aldrich, high honors. Tyler Jacob Alexander. Emma Grace Allen, honors. Tyler Lee Altenbaumer, high honors. Joel H.E. Anderson, honors. Camille Elise Anderson, honors. Marianne Ray Anderson. Kiri May Anisser, honors. Elizabeth Louise Angel, high honors. Liam Paulo Armstrong, honors. Batu Ataseven, high honors. Eleanor Tida Bagby, high honors. Koa Dyson Baker, high honors. Melissa Danielle Ball. Grace Balu, high honors. Theodore Houghton Barker, high honors. Chase Evan Baxter. Jordan Bayless. Ryan Patrick Beavers. Casey Elena Bedwell Call, high honors. Kelsey Frances Bell Isle. Einar Samantha Benedis Grab. Tanner Bennett. Yarrow Rose Berkovicibi Beati, high honors. Abigail Reed Burnick. Alyssa Jaden Bickert. Honors. Ella Grayson Blackstock. Danielle Jovan Blumenfield. Joanna Marie Kuntango Bodu, high honors. Isabella Bolivar, honors. Nikki Grace Bonfilio, honors. Scott M. Boone. Dante Bouchard. Zoe M. Brasher. Charlotte Wells Braxton. Amelie Grace Brazelton, honors. Aiden Samuel Brill. Sarah Elise Bristol, high honors. McKenna Corrine Brochu. Davis Stephen Brooks, high honors. John Henry Brown. Lindsay Elizabeth Brown. Gabriella Rose Bristowski, high honors. Jackson Ross Bunning. Helen Frances Burdette. Amelia Jade Burns. Layla Letitia Campbell. Greta Carlo, high honors. John Paul Carrero. Ana Garcia Carrier, honors. Mary Ellen Murphy Carroll, high honors. Suzanne Carroll. Kinsley Marie Castro, high honors. Lucas G. Chan. Casey John Chang. Kellen James Cheek, honors. Margot Erica Cheney. Megan Catherine Chivers. Grayson Stone Clapperton, honors. Devin Adele Clark. Ella Louise Coiner. Riley Anam Colbert. Gabrielle Ryan Colisio, honors. Valeria Colon Conde. Anna Elizabeth Conhini, honors. Sochi May Craig Santiago. Anna Lydia Lancaster Santos Crockett. Alyssa Jordan DeProza. Michael J. Davina, honors. Davion Davis. Hannah Isabel Davis. Maya Alexis Davis, honors. Andrew Sebastian DeMuth. Ava Louise Dinnewill. Madeline Ray Denson. Avery Elizabeth DePriest, honors. Briar M. Demiris. Eli Flynn Diet. Adam Patrick DeZino. Josh DeZino. Aiden Michael Drummond. Jaden Dusso. Sophia Dura, high honors. Madeline G. Entwistle. Joycelyn Sophia Escoffrey. Nina Renee Esquivel. Maya Ray Feria, honors. Kayla Ann Fenton. Orion Fentress. Faran Fayaz. Lucien X. Flanagan Burt, high honors. Aaron Mackenzie Flynn, honors. Megan Elaine Foster. William T. France, high honors. Madison Ashley Franklin. Kelsey Lane Ferletti, honors. Luis A. Garrido. Cameron James Gelwick. Adrian Christian Georgi, high honors. Joy Calvert Gilbertson, high honors. Craig Bradley Glazer. Pierce Martin Gorman. Siri Ixchel Grace. Summer Rose Grady. Carmen Faye Groom, honors. Jacob Eli Grossman. Lana Miller Guy, high honors. Madison B. Hardbarger, honors. Jennifer Lillian Harris. Kayla Ann Heinstein. Catherine Hart Hellerstein, honors. Isabella Grace Helm, high honors. Madison Claire Hendricks. Mia Henrich. Cambry Elena Henry. Alex Hernandez. Kate Marie Hick, honors. Chloe Marie Claire Higginbotham. Mason William Hill. Anne Catherine Hoback, high honors. Lexi Joanne Holland. Raquel Mist Holmarsdotter, high honors. Jaden Holub. Lillian Elena Horn, high honors. Noel Hukel Sollendier. Noya Lise Hudkins Jove, high honors. Hannah Nicole Hull. Maple Ann Jansky. Gabriella Yelnsechuk. Ava Nicole Johnson, high honors. Rudolph Philip Johnson III. Dawson Shade Jones. Jameslyn Laurel Jones. Adonaya Amaranza Joyce, honors. Heaven Abigail Juarez. Vivian Georgia Kay. Emma Louise Kelleher, high honors. Caitlin Brianna Kirschner, honors. Julian Liu Hayatala Diladen. Elizabeth Catherine Kibbe, high honors. Kirsten Michelle Kirkland, honors. Anne-Marie Lyles Knight. Hannah Christine Cobbs, high honors. Avery Jean Coaches, high honors. Ieva Elizabeth Corzani, honors. Kate R. Lancaster. Grace Langfels. Charlene Angeline Levine. Taryn Lee Coman Ledbetter. Sophie Helene Leduc. Jonte Brianna Lee. Leah Riley Lentz, honors. Laura Elizabeth Levi, high honors. Olivia Limberg, honors. Sarah Alicia Littman. Jesse Dalen Lutz. Allison L. Luby. McKenna Teresa Maloney. Chloe Sophia Manfra. Caitlin Elise Mann, high honors. Ruby Jane Mantell. Callie Marshall. Angela Martinez, high honors. Ella Sydney Marks, honors. Morgan L. Massey. Daniel Adam Metakitis. Melody Grace Mayo, high honors. Jordan Grace McLaurin. Brielle A. McDuffie. Mary Margaret McGrath. Galen Scott McKenna. Zachary Michael McLeod, high honors. Jessica Taylor McGriblian. Madeline Ann Merrick. Lisa Thames Michelson, honors. Kinga Michalska, honors. Lillian Page Michaud. Oliver Miles. Finn Walter Miller. Lily Grace Miller. Sydney Ann Miller. Jaden Curtis Montgomery. Gabriana Mormon, honors. Jaden Moses. Julia Rose Mullen, honors. Nyla Marie Muscoven, honors. Cameron Avery Muther, honors. Ashlyn Christine Neely. Gemma Dempsey Nelson. Amanda Alice Neuter. Sophia Fortune Nosara, high honors. Nathan Allen Norwood. Vanessa Rose Novotny. McKenna Marie O'Brien. Morgan Layden O'Connor, honors. Lily Ijiri Olkers, honors. Devin Phelps O'Grady. Jalen Dawn Austinson. Olivia Kate Osbold, high honors. Kara Ann Patesel. Tamaya Palmer. Ariadne Papademetrio. Kristen Parker. Mikkel Elliott Paulson, honors. Oliver H. Peterson. Melina Pelato, high honors. Raymond Pentaro. Colton John Pizio. Avery Elizabeth Powell, high honors. Michaela Veronica Powers, honors. Madison Lee Crickroll. Alexis L. Prouty. Amelia O'Brien Quinn. Vivian Ann Ron, high honors. Nicholas K. Rainey. Emily Christine Redding, high honors. Angela Renee Redman. Brandolyn Raymer, high honors. Raven Rodin, high honors. John David Riccio. Christopher David Rhymes. Rebecca Idri Rojas, high honors. Miles Roven, high honors. Dina McKenzie Rovito, honors. Kayla Lynn Rousey. Natalie Lauren Rudman, high honors. Anna Kate Ryan. Sophia Solko, high honors. Margaret Eloise Schad, high honors. Caitlin Ann Schottmiller. Cole Gibson Shoemaker. Maxwell J. Seiler. Addison Maria Shahan. Cassandra Ann Signet. Shelby Donna Simmons. Paloma Simon del Corral. Caroline Patterson Simpson, high honors. Ada Lee Sleppen, honors. Kess Lauren Smith, high honors. Donovan Snell, honors. Brooke Sokolowski. Celeste Marie Solis. John Joseph Solers. Josephine Edie Sievers, high honors. Sarah Elizabeth Sun. Evstratia Sultanicus. Catherine Anna Shrekovic, honors. Allie Marie St. John. Olivia Catherine Stacy, high honors. Carly Christina Sturgis, honors. Blaine Sutton. Hannah Rose Taylor, high honors. Leonardo Temple. John Warner Templeton. Timothy Gordon Thompson, honors. Robert Thorarensen, high honors. Stephen Michael Twist. Madison Vaccaro. Riley Anna Van Weigel. Andrew Gilbert Bassi. Jalen Natasha Velez. Priya Ann Verma. Paige Vipperman. Jenny Tanner Vogel. Dylan Wellman. Brandon Edward Joseph Wheeler. Adrian White, honors. Rachel Lynn White, honors. Mikhail H. White, high honors. Cade Mitchell Williams, honors. Jeniana Marie Wilner, high honors. Jada Wilson. Hannah Jolene Workman. Isabella Gracie Wright, honors. Claire Joanne Wurlitzer. Madison Marie Yaling. Grace Marion Yogis. McKenna Riley Young. Emma M. Alimo. Grace Bradshaw Albrecht, honors. Zachary Albright. Francesca Sophia Annis. Alyssa Caitlin Arsidianico. Ashley Elizabeth Autry. Raquel Bob Garza. Samantha Kate Baggs. Valerie Elizabeth Hurlbut Beggs. Skylar Masaki Bendit, honors. Meredith Love Black, honors. Wilkinson R. Boucher, high honors. Emma Grace Bravi. Catherine Helen Briggs, honors. Ivy Bet Brothers. Hannah Louise Bird, honors. Megan Lee Burnham. Shannon Nicole Burt. Zane Conrad Bush. Tamsin Clara Caddy, high honors. Sophie Layla Campbell, honors. Christina Jean Capria. Lauren Elizabeth Carter, high honors. Sophia Mastrominico Carvalho. John Finley Clark, honors. Piper Elizabeth Lucky Colquitt, honors. Ariana Baccarat Corey, high honors. Sophia E. Counts. Lindsay May Curran. Samantha Ray Kusan, high honors. Amelia Lauren Deere. Liam Michael Deutsch. Ryan N. Dodson. Cole Chapman Duzing. Leo Nikolai Dukovich, high honors. Emma Louise Egan, honors. Anaya Lene Elder. Benjamin Owen Fargo. Angela Carol Ferrero. Alyssa Hope Ferraro, high honors. Vincent J. Ferrero. Ramsey Alexander Flower. Robert James Fleming. Elijah John Thomas Froelich, honors. Lane Marie Gibbs, high honors. Noah J. Jinan. Daya Len Gobel. Daya Len Gobel. Casper Aaron Graham, high honors. Grace Ann Grosco. Lillian Jill Gunder. Robert Hamill Jr. Sydney Alea Harkness, honors. Carly Elizabeth Harshbarger, high honors. It's okay. Brianne M. Hawks. Olivia Faith Hedrick. Nolan Stephen Hyde. Aiden Brian Hess. Siler Ann Rushka, high honors. Jeffrey Michael Hughes, honors. Lydia Grace Hughes, high honors. Piper Mackenzie Im. Brian William Jasian. Charlie Jess. Anna Jean Jupen, honors. Jonathan Daniel Call. Nilo Corey, high honors. Camden Kung. Gavin Reese King. Alexander William Kissel, high honors. Claudia Francesca Knickrim, high honors. Sydney Judith Roan Knowles. Brooke D. Kruger, high honors. Alyssa Nicole Cruz, honors. Riley Ann Kubiak. Jaden Joseph Kuhn, high honors. Holly Langdon, high honors. Andrew Lau, honors. Gabrielle Claire Lizon. Zoe Cecile Lubian. Madeline Erin Loisel, honors. Zoe Rochelle London, high honors. Alejandra Lopez Rueda. Olivia Louise Lord, honors. Will B. Marks. Evan Mitchell McGee, honors. Lydia Rebecca McKeever, high honors. Juliana Grace McKenna, honors. Gianna Catherine McKinley. Cloda Shea McNamara. Anna Elizabeth McNall, high honors. Mary Margaret McReynolds, high honors. Rebecca Kathleen Meberg, high honors. Megan Elizabeth Miller, honors. Akari Miura, high honors. Colby S. Moore, high honors. Reagan May Moss. Reynolds Ellsworth Moulton IV, high honors. Dylan Mullen. Lydia Michelle Munson, high honors. Mackenzie Michelle Nichols. Benjamin Charles Newkirk. Lloyd Uchachukwu Njai. Evan H. Nobles. William Henry Ortigran. Clara Lane Oxford, honors. Charles Matthew Palmentary. Pixie Elizabeth Parker, high honors. Tanner Elizabeth Parks. Jayla Nicole Pleasant. Caroline Bonanno, Portugal. Taylor A. Queen, honors. Megan E. Radke. Megan Elizabeth Reed. Jack R. Reichenbach, honors. Thea Rose Rindu, high honors. Reagan Jeanette Rodriguez. Luis Sanchez, honors. Brooklyn Grace Sawyer. Ruby Elena Schwartz, honors. Michaela Lane Serio, high honors. Sarah Clark Shafee. Hannah Scherer. Robert Kenneth Shedden, high honors. Perrin DeLee Shell, high honors. Selby Ann Shipley, high honors. Gabrielle Lynn Smith, honors. Justin Carl Smith, honors. Keller Barry Smith. Emma Taylor Sorace. Emily Rose Sperling. Emma Michael Stokes, honors. Riley Stappa, high honors. Isabella Ingeborg Studer. Ian Grant Stum. Rihanna Sky Tanner. Courtney K. Togger. Madison Isabella Thornton. Alec Gregory Throne, high honors. Esteban Ignacio Torres. Isabella Amelia Trace. Aiden Valkama. Jade Caroline Van Verenwick. Tegan R. Vandermeer, high honors. Avery Vitali, honors. Gianna M. Viviano. Christopher Joseph Vogt, high honors. Claire Lauren Walker, high honors. Emily Allen Weldon. Kyle Flint Windland. Jackson Charles Wheat. Miley Shannon Whitus. Adam Joseph Wyatrowski, honors. Isabel Marie Wood.
New graduates, upon your enrollment at Eckerd College, you were handed an Eckerd medallion commemorating the beginning of your college career. And today, we handed you your diploma to end it. The first was a gift. The second was earned. Graduates, yes, give yourselves a hand, yes. You have arrived at this day of celebration by various paths. We hope that your time at Eckerd College and the education and experiences that you have had here have prepared you for a life of ceaseless change, generous service, and moral courage. We will know by the lives you lead if we have succeeded. As you march off today to lives of imagination, service, and discovery, remember all those who have helped you get to this great day. Your parents, family members, friends, and loved ones, mentors and teachers, and your Eckerd family of faculty, staff, and fellow students. Of course, in the end, what you will most remember of your experiences of Eckerd College will be the community you were a part of, the very special community of learning, exploration, discussion, debate, and service, a place full of deep and lasting friendships with extraordinary teachers and enthusiastic learners. Cardinal John Henry Newman wrote in The Idea of a University, "A university is an alma mater, knowing her children one by one, not a foundry, nor a mint, nor a treadmill, one by one, each student an individual. Eckerd College, a school for free thinkers and nonconformists who graduate to change the world." As you bid farewell to your life here as students, I hope that you have felt not only well tutored, but also well loved. And as you leave us today to pursue lives of meaning and accomplishment, remember that Eckerd always will remain your home. Please, please resolve to stay engaged with one another and to return often here to your beloved college by the sea. After the recessional, we invite everyone to gather on the field for refreshments and a chance to say goodbye. As the bearer of the mace leads our recessional, would all please rise as they are able and remain in their place. Our ceremony is now ended.
We get it almost every night. When that moon gets so big and bright, it's supernatural delight. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Everybody here is out of sight. They don't bark